We're team wide-eyed. I'm Ben.
I'm Josh.
I'm Sinead. I'm Christine.
We had to negotiate about having a night off for a party, so we went with, in the thing that obviously you spoke to him and he's not said anything to you yet, so you're still waiting for a reply, so we said you just smile and just wait for him to respond. If he doesn't respond, then you ask the question again, see if he actually understood what you said. Then you'd go for number 3 and try to persuade him even more, saying that all your friends would be there, you'd have a good time. Then you'd excuse yourself to give yourself a few minutes, and then you'd go, and then you say number 1 to just explain your point again.
And why did you choose those as the answers?
So we thought they were most appropriate, as if you're going to leave the table, you want to come back, so leave him time to think, and then when you come back, just tell him one more time before he makes his final decision if he's going to make one.
Moving on to fair and reasonable, about 3 cars. It said that the cars are exactly the same, there is 3 prices. First one at 5,100, second at 5,300, and third at 5,295. So because it's a competitive market, you could say to dealer B and dealer C that dealer A are offering it at 5,100, therefore they should offer it to you at the same price. An ideal price we decided would be 20% off, which would be £4,080. So we decided to do that across the board because we could get B and C to come down to 5,100 and then negotiate our 20% off from there. Realistic prices, we said about 12% off, so that's 4,488 again across the board is our ideal price. Then our walkaway price of £4,700, at which point we would just say no and come back the next day or the day afterwards.
A testing phoning, where obviously they rang you up, they said they're going to raise the prices, so we went with number 3. You're going to tell them straight away you're not going to pay the price, which sort of makes a mark, tells them that you're not going to be pushed around. Then with number 5, express your disappointment, say you've been a loyal customer, say that you're going to move to another provider, give them a little threat there. And then number 1, stay on the line if they're still not negotiating with you, in order to get the details, so you just know what's actually happening. Number 4, ask for written information, so you have it in writing. And then number 2, suggest that you go into a phone shop, so you can actually have a physical presence instead of just over the phone.
With the first 2 that we've done, basically say no and threaten that you'll leave them, we've done them at the beginning because them knowing that you aren't afraid to just go straight away will get them more inclined to negotiating with you and being more genuine and generous with what they offer you.
Next.
We're out with 6 of our friends in an Italian restaurant, and the dessert was poor. It took a lot of time and an hour to arrive, and we complained and we want a reduction in the bill. The responses to get the reducing cost we chose first. No, what we'd think the waiter is prepared to reduce the cost. We thought the first one would be, I wouldn't be in a position to offer you a discount, I'm afraid, because they're not saying no, they're saying there is a possibility that you'll be able to get a discount, and they go to the manager hopefully and get you that. The next one, we put number 1, we're prepared to offer you a free soft drink on the house, but a reduction in the bill would be very difficult. They're straight away giving you something out of for free, and they're saying it's difficult. They're not saying it's impossible, they're not going to give you a discount. And then number 5, as you rate everything, you haven't mentioned the service until now, it's almost impossible for me to pass a reduction through the till. This one is it's very unlikely you're going to get one because they've insulted you by saying you've ate everything and saying it's almost impossible. But almost is that's why we haven't put it at the bottom, because it's an almost, they're not saying it's impossible. Then we put number 2, our standard policy is to apologise and offer a free drink on the house. They're saying our standard policy, so they're not saying this is our policy, therefore this is what we're going to go with. They're just stating that's the standard one, and there might be potential with changing up for you. And then the last one we put, please accept our apologies. We do not give out discounts. This is against our company policy. This one is straight away saying they do not give it out.
Time's up. You're over your 5 minutes. Right, you've got 50 seconds maximum.
Right, take it or leave it. We started with, we would say no and decline their first offer because we didn't want it. And then we'd try and make the salesperson feel unreasonable. We'd then stay silent and maintain eye contact, maybe to give them time to think about they might actually be being unreasonable. Then we'd ask to speak to a manager, take 5 minutes to talk with a friend, and then accept the deal.
And the last one, still apart, number 6 first was explaining why you're asking for a discount. Then you'd be open about your feelings and a lack of movement, trying to see if that would sway them any further. Then you'd ask a friend to return to the shop with you, as the second person might help them give you a discount. Then number 3, you might agree to remove slightly from the open proposal, but you don't really want to do that. Number 2, agree to move considerably from the open proposal. Again, you don't really want to do that. And then number 4, you went into the shop to buy a laptop, so you don't want to allow the negotiation to go to deadlock and return without a laptop, because that's gone against what you went for.